G'day viewers, Retro Man here. Today I'll be doing a retrospective on Married to the Mob with Michelle Pfeiffer, Dean Stockwell and Matthew Modine. It's going to be a riot.
Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Modine, in a Jonathan Demme film, Married to the Mob.
Coming to you from a basement studio somewhere down under, it's the 80s Show with Australia's Retro Man. On tonight's show, Retro Man does a retrospective on Married to the Mob starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Well, what are we waiting for? Lights, camera, Retro Man.
G'day viewers, Retro Man here and welcome to the 80s Show. Now today I will be doing a special Michelle Pfeiffer episode. That's right guys, I will be doing a retrospective on the 1988 gangster comedy Married to the Mob. It's this one right here, and this film is directed by Jonathan Demme. And if you've been watching the channel guys, you would have seen that I covered Jonathan Demme's earlier film Something Wild, which starred Melanie Griffith and Jeff Daniels. So if you want to hear more about that film, I have an episode on Something Wild now playing on the channel. Anyway guys, let's get straight into it. Married to the Mob. This film stars Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Modine, Dean Stockwell, Alec Baldwin and Nancy Travis. And there's a few other people that are in it too, like Mercedes Ruehl. That woman, isn't she a handful? Anyway guys, Michelle Pfeiffer in this film, she's very good. She plays the wife of a mafia guy. Actually, she's the wife of Alec Baldwin, and he's a bit of a hood. At the start of the film, him and a buddy of his, some bozo, they knock off a guy on a train. And the first time, actually, we see Pfeiffer in this film, she has a bit of a confrontation with her husband. In fact, it seems that she's had enough of things falling off the back of a truck and she kind of wants out of the marriage. She knows he's up to no good. He's a bit of a mafia stud. He's a guy that sort of, you know, goes around town in designer suits, and he's got women on the side. Actually, one of those women is Nancy Travis, and Alec Baldwin kind of gets himself into a bit of trouble right at the start of the film because as it goes, he's actually sleeping with the same woman that this other mafioso guy is sleeping with, and that is Dean Stockwell, who plays the menacing Tony the Tiger. Now what happens is Tony the Tiger catches Alec Baldwin with his floozy, played by Nancy Travis, and she played Sylvia, the baby's mother in 3 Men and a Baby. And what a revealing little role she has at the start of this film. And then next minute she's, spoiler alert, wiped out. Next minute Michelle Pfeiffer is a widow, and comedy ensues, guys, as Michelle Pfeiffer tries to start a new life away from the mob. Now, this is a film that's a little bit schizophrenic in tone. I mean, it's a mafia film, but it's also trying to be this wacky, over-the-top, quirky comedy. And the two sort of, they kind of work at times and then they don't work, and I think maybe you have to watch this film a couple of times to really appreciate it. Now, I saw this film in the cinema back in 1989. It came out in 88. I saw it in 89 in Australia, and yeah, on first viewing I went, Michelle Pfeiffer's great in this, and Dean Stockwell is certainly interesting as that menacing mafioso guy. But Matthew Modine, I mean, what's he doing in this? Actually, he plays an FBI agent who is kind of hot on Michelle Pfeiffer's trail. He's doing a little bit of surveillance on her because of her mafia ties, because they're trying to catch Tony the Tiger, Dean Stockwell, doing something naughty. In other words, catch his hand in the cookie jar. And anyway, guys, Matthew Modine is kind of a goofball FBI guy, and maybe he doesn't exactly gel with Michelle Pfeiffer, their romance doesn't ignite, well, for me anyway, like you feel it should. So maybe there's a bit of miscasting there, but Modine is a good actor. I mean, if you've seen some of his earlier work before this, like Vision Quest and a couple of those other films like Birdie and Full Metal Jacket, you will know that he has definitely got some chops, but he's almost miscast here. And also Dean Stockwell plays this, over-the-top Al Capone type guy, and geez, he got some good accolades for this. He won some awards, and he was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor, Dean Stockwell, for his role in this. So the critics were very kind to this film. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer, of course, was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for her performance. And Alec Baldwin, well, it's a throwaway role at the start of the film. But Mercedes Ruehl came out of this one. I mentioned her earlier. She plays Dean Stockwell's over-the-top wife, controlling wife, and she thinks that Dean is kind of playing up on her. And of course he is. He spends the good part of the film trying to crack onto Michelle Pfeiffer, and Mercedes Ruehl thinks there's something going on there. And she got some big notices from this film because she's a real in-your-face Italian mafia woman with a big personality, and she's certainly going to knock this mafioso down to size. So that's Married to the Mob. I mean, when I saw this film, I saw it once in the cinema, kind of forgot about it really, and I just watched it again recently, and I must say it's okay. I mean, it's not my favourite Michelle Pfeiffer movie. I think The Fabulous Baker Boys definitely gets that accolade, but it's okay. And I mean, there'll be some people out there that love this. I mean, it's not Godfather standard, but as far as mafia comedies go, this is a bit of a weird one because it sort of straddles being serious and being really, really over the top. And it kind of doesn't get the balance right. And it has some unexpected violence, this film, which kind of interferes with the tone. I mean, it can be very funny at times, and then there's sudden bursts of violence. And this guy, Dean Stockwell, is definitely playing it sometimes very real and very serious, and he is quite scary, and then next minute he's kind of singing a fast food song in a car with his buddy. And I mean, doesn't that throw you out of the picture? Well, it might for some, but others will be in on the joke. But you be the judge, guys. What I would like to know is, what do you think about Married to the Mob? I think Michelle Pfeiffer is really, really good in this. And Matthew Modine, well, maybe he was miscast. Dean Stockwell is certainly the role of a lifetime for him. And there's some other people that appear in this as well, like Tracy Walter from Conan the Destroyer. He plays this dirty little chicken shop owner who's perving on Michelle Pfeiffer. Isn't that a weird scene? And also Chris Isaak, the singer, he appears in this film as well. So I mean, there's a lot happening. It's very offbeat. And of course, Mercedes Ruehl, that woman, I mean, whew, you wouldn't want to be married to her. And Dean Stockwell is certainly suffering because of it. Anyway, guys, Married to the Mob. Do you like this film? Well, tell me about it. As we know, Michelle Pfeiffer is definitely on fire. She has that different look. She's got brown hair in this one. She's got rid of those blonde locks that she's famous for. And if you're a Michelle Pfeiffer fan, definitely check out Married to the Mob. In the meantime, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're a fan of Michelle Pfeiffer, keep watching the channel because we have more Pfeiffer coming your way. Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure. This is Retro Man, living the dream, 80s style. Stay gold.
Thanks for watching. Retro Man will return faster than a boomerang and just as exciting as a Chris Isaak cameo. Please subscribe and good night, viewers.